Moto Tubers. Today we're going to be working on this 2016 Dyna Lowrider S. We're going to be pulling apart the cam chest. We're going to be going in and checking the cam chain tensioners. We're going to be checking the inner cam bearing. Make sure that nothing is rubbing raw or there's metal pieces in the oil. We're going to check that for sure. Some things we're going to be replacing are hydraulic cam chain tensioners from fueling. We're going to be replacing the cams. We're going to be replacing the push rods, the push rod tubes, and the lifters. All of that is going to be coming from fueling. No, they're not a sponsor. I just like their product. They put out a really good product. So we're going to be going through this engine on this side of it primarily. I'll jump up into the rocker boxes and open these up just to make sure all the valve springs are operating correctly. None of them are broken. And make sure that everything inside there is lubed and on track for the way that these high-performance engines seem to be running. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing up on the lift and tear into it. All right.
I got the recipe, never gonna let any op get the best of me. Thought it was distance, but haters is next to me. Talk to the spirit, you know I've been heavenly. Company definitely show your trajectory. This ain't a diss cause I say it respectfully. It's time to eat up, red like a speeder. Taking it deeper and that's how it better be. I never let the comparison get to me. I just remember the promises meant for me. I know the enemy and that he sent for me. I keep the blood of the lemons my centerpiece. I cannot trust in no crystals or energy. Look at the chemistry, it do not even mix chemically. Most of the tricks they be gimmicks, they mimic the truth. It's poison and we got the remedy. There is a bomb, apply it. The fire can stand to the tallest of giants. The tyrant and all the suppliers are scheming and lying. They selling his dreams and we buying it. Show me the chicken, I'm frying it. Show me the dough and I'm prying it. Ain't never lacking it, so what I'm packing, he taking it, he magnifying it.
They say you ain't bout it. Tell them that you finna make it, but they doubt it. But you rose like the flower. Tell me what it's like to live with superpowers.
I don't know, but I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I just know that I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I'ma get it. Ayy. I got the drive to bust the truck, the gas is stuck. I ain't the one to rely on the luck. I put in work and then he show up. I know it's fake, this shit in the reps. Ain't no regrets, I do too much. It ain't me if you saying I stunt. He calling the place and I do what he want. This ain't a front, glory to G-O-D. It's what you could do with a mustard seed. It's what you could do when you start to believe. Take fear and you cast it inside of the sea. 100% out of me, cause he gave it all on the T when he let it bleed. So what is you saying to me? You just insecure about the love that turned me to a beast. I take a step and I ain't turning back. He made me first cause I know that I'm last. I ain't got time for no thing in the past. Learn from it first and then I react. Hands off me, don't hold me. Get it jumping like a trampoline. All truth, ain't no trolling. We in good hands, no folding.
They say you ain't bout it. Tell them that you finna make it, but they doubt it. But God did it. But you rose like the flower. Tell me what it's like to live with superpowers.
I don't know, but I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I just know that I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I'ma get it.
Okay, so one of the things that has to happen quite a bit is this rear wheel has to get spun. So for right now, I want to spin the rear wheel so that that's facing up, that flat side is up, but I gotta make sure, oh yeah, it'll spin? Okay, cool. Go the other way? It doesn't matter, Right there. Back a little bit. One more right there. Right there. I already went through. I'll show you just to kind of give you an update on what I've done. I already replaced this the cam chain tensioner here with a fueling cam chain tensioner. It needs to be pressed straight on and then bolted in, so not one and then shoved in, because this could be cockeyed, right? As you can see, it's nice and straight. These are CVO 255 cams, which I noted, and then this right here is the oil pump. So this whole thing is the cam plate, and as it spins, the oil pushes through and then pushes through all these and everything. So this gasket's been replaced, and all these O-ring, and then these O-rings have been replaced. And so now what I need to do is line these up inside here. See how they're flat? That flat needs to line up here. So they look kind of okay right now. I'm gonna go ahead and try it, but inside here, when you put this thing back together, you want to leave this somewhat loose, so that when you suck the whole thing down, it aligns itself. If you tighten this up and then tighten this up to this, because these are always off a little bit, they're always a little oblonged, I guess is the word. But I already tested it, it's not off enough to where it has to be replaced. So for right now, what I want to do is make sure that these cams are in line, and the thing is I think the dot is on the other side of it.
So you gotta just put the two dots together, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right there.
Did you see the dot?
There. Yeah.
It should be down on the tube.
It's like right. Keep going. There. The dot. Oh no.
Yeah, it's on the other side of them. But it doesn't, I'll be honest, it doesn't matter right now, because when you need to make sure that they line up is when you pull it all apart and then put it back together. I never pulled this out and this apart.
Okay.
So it is lined up still from the factory, but I was gonna just do it for conversation sake, but the dot is on the back side of these. Yeah, so it doesn't really matter. It really doesn't. But the big thing you gotta do is lube the absolute crap out of everything, and that's what I want to make sure gets done. Just lube it all to goopy goop.
So much to say.
He also seems pretty good at that.
Slide right in. Up in there. There we go.
It's actually pretty easy.
Needs to press a little more here.
Sure that when you pull that down, it'll sit right.
There you go. Hear that? That's what I was looking for. Okay, now there is a torque sequence and a wheel spinning sequence that needs to happen. Snap on. All right, so after we've rotated the engine about 4 or 5 times to get the cam plate to seat, leave all of these hand tightened until you get out your torque wrench. It's gonna be a series of torquing, and 120 inch-pounds of torque is what they call for in the manual here. And there's also a torque pattern sequence. I'll tell you guys what it is. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6. So that's your torque pattern sequence. We're gonna go ahead and get that started. All right, so we've torqued these down to 10 foot-pounds, and then we rotate the wheel, and now I'm gonna go 45 foot-pounds. In the sequence, for the oil pump, torque sequence is 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you notice on the stock plates, it's actually labeled 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's kind of cool how they did that. Anyway, go ahead and get this. Yeah, 45 foot-pounds of torque, or inches, is like literally nothing. Okay, and then your final torque spec is 120 inch-pounds. By the way, if I say foot-pounds at any moment, just know that I mean inch-pounds when you're talking about the cam plate and the oil pump. And you do it in the same torque sequence. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and let this sit for about 10 minutes and let it seat itself, and then we'll go back through and double check everything.
One eternity later.
Yeah, go ahead and rotate about 5 or 6 more times. And now I'm gonna hit it with 120 inch-pounds. All the way around, and then the oil pump. So I'll start with number 1. Four. 5. 6. And then oil pump, last torque. Okay, now that's torqued down, we're gonna go ahead and put on the outer cam chain and the new fueling tensioner. So let's get to it. No, come roll back. The other way. Right there. There we go, it's all lined up. Look at that. In there. Okay. Our new cam chain tensioner by Fueling. We're gonna go ahead and put this in. Little Loctite on there. The big thing you want to make sure is that this pad is flat and not cockeyed, which it is. It's good to go. If anybody wants a dog, feel free to hit me up. ThompsonCustomBikes.com. I've got one. Just kidding. All right, 120 inch-pounds. Go ahead and lock these down. Okay. And then pull this pin. Make sure and pull this pin. You don't want that getting stuck inside of your cam chest. I'm gonna go ahead and squirt some lube down in there. Make sure all this is nice and lubed up. Basically can't get enough lube inside this part of your engine. All right, well, we've got the cam plate put back in. All of it's lined with the timing marks. We've got our new fuel and cam chain tensioners in. The gears are spaced accordingly, and it's all lubed up and ready to go. So now, last step really to the cam chest is to put the cam chest cover on, which I have right here. And we've cleaned this thing out as good as it can get. And I've got a new gasket right here. Came in the kit. All right, so we've got our new gasket here. Just so you guys can note on the video, the lifters and the push rods are not getting done yet because I'm waiting on the push rod tubes to come back from Cerakote. They're getting to be black, flat black and gloss black, and the tappet blocks are going to be gloss black. So all that's getting done right now. So I'm buttoning this up, and I'll do the upper end later. But for today, for right now, we're going to go ahead and get this thing buttoned up. I always check my gaskets, make sure that they look right, make sure they seem to have the right fitment. Cam chest cover bolts. I keep them all in order because sometimes they're different sizes depending on the motorcycle, and I always like to keep the bolts in the same order. So I have them already sitting here ready to rock and roll and cleaned up, so that way we can get them some Loctite and put right back in. So there's a torque sequence that needs to happen right here, and I'll walk you guys through that, but you can get a good view of what that looks like right here. And those ultimately are going to get torqued down to 120 inch-pounds as well. This is this guy right here. And I always put them in by hand first, just to make sure everything's aligned properly. I'm barely even doing these down, not even hand tight, just making sure that they're in place. All right, number 9. Once these bolts are in there with Loctite on them, you're going to want to go ahead and torque them down to the torque sequence I showed you earlier, and it's going to be, between 125 and 155 inch-pounds. I think I'm going to probably do about 130, kind of see how that feels. Okay, once those are all torqued down, you're done with your cam chest, and next video, we'll be getting into the lifters and push rods and rocker boxes. All right.